Facebook, YouTube, if you're catching this on the replay, let me know who's here. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. And if you guys want the guide, we actually have 3 resources on how to get started, how to get clients, and how to get clients without running Facebook ads. So if you want any of those, then just drop an emoji and we will get those to you. But I wanted to come back and just start by talking a little bit about how to get started, because I know a lot of people have recently found the Millennial Skills community, and a lot of people are just getting involved with it. And so what I want to do is help you to give you an idea of kind of an overview of how to get going, and some things that everybody needs to be able to do to start making money online, whether they are doing it through chatbots, whether they're doing it through affiliate marketing, whether they're building an ad agency, whatever they are doing, they're going to have to do these things. So once again, if you guys are catching this on the replay, let me know who's here. And if you guys have any questions, then make sure to throw those down there, and we'll talk about them as well. So let's see here. I actually think that if you guys, by the way, are not in our Chatbot 101 group, make sure that you guys are there, because it is the place to get all of your questions answered. And it's also the place to get all of the free resources that we are putting out. So I mentioned a little bit about those resources. So we're really trying to do 2 things, and it's a little bit of a challenge, but I'll express it with you. I'm going to welcome them here. Welcome to Chatbots 101. Okay, we'll just do that, and we'll just have them come and hang out with us in the group. Oh, too many tags. Oh, I forgot about that. We gotta get some 56 tags. All right. So sorry if you guys are catching this live. What I'm doing is I'm inviting everybody in our group, and I'm making sure that everybody can get here, because if you guys didn't catch the first train of chatbots, that was back like in early 2016 or late 2016, early 2017, when people really started to see the possibilities, and people started to see the potential when it came down to chatbots. But then after a while, people started to doubt it, right? It kind of went away a little bit, right? There was this whole embargo. And then right after the embargo happened, it seemed like everybody started to come back again. And after the embargo, ended, it seemed like there was a resurgence of chatbot, of people who were interested in chatbots. And so what I want to do is give you a framework on really how to get started. So enough of my filibustering here. I've got this shared out in all the right places. I want to make sure that you guys can see this stuff. And so once again, if you don't have your notifications turned on for this, make sure you do, so that you guys can get updates on all this stuff. So Rachel, Josh, thanks guys for checking in. I appreciate it. So let's talk about it. And the first thing that you've got to figure out is before you do anything, is you got to figure out why you want to be an entrepreneur. And I'm going to take just a very quick second, right, to talk about this. But I'm curious for you guys to know why you guys decided to become an entrepreneur, right? I kind of fell into it. I'll give you the quick background for me. I started my very first business back in 2009, and it was when the economy crashed. And so there was 0 jobs that were available. I was literally out there applying for jobs with people that were 2 or 3 times my age, and literally had the amount of years of experience that I was old, right? I was 17 years old applying for jobs with people who had 17 years of experience. And so for me, I just had to find a different way to be able to make money and still survive. But secondly, once I got a taste of it and I saw this opportunity of being my own boss and working for myself and creating something on my own, I knew that I was never going to go back to working for anybody else. And so I built a direct sales organization from 2014 to 2016. We did over 5 million in revenue. We did 3 years in a row over 7 figures. I trained and recruited over 3,000 people on my sales team, but it was all brick and mortar. It was really, really all just old school brick and mortar. Like I spent close to $50,000 over those years in direct mail, right? Just direct mailing. So imagine if I would have put that into Facebook ads, what could have happened, right? If I would have put that into, digital marketing. But really, it's opened my eyes to not only the opportunity of what could happen when you run a business, but also the advantage of being able to leverage and utilize things like online, things like, at that time, email, right? Facebook ads. Then messenger marketing came around, and we were really, really challenged, and we were really, really struggling with our ability to, what's the word I'm looking for? We're really, really challenged and struggling with our ability to get results for our clients, right? We couldn't get results. And so we were trying lead forms and ClickFunnels and landing pages and all the kind of normal things. And I was listening to this thing on messenger bots, or on digital marketing, and they were talking about messenger bots and messenger marketing. And I just tried it. And from that moment, right, we ended up going from, we were like losing ad spend, right? We were actually like in the hole a couple $100 to, from 2 weeks to that point, we were actually 10xing our ad spend, right? We had actually gotten a 10x return, and it was all because of the messenger bot. The branding stayed the same, the copy, the creative, everything stayed the same. It was just because we went from having 15% open rates to, at the time, we were getting 99% open rates. And so that was really, for me, why I decided to get into, that's how I landed here. Now, I'll share with you, us here at Millennial Skills and at HD Marketing, our goal is to help 1,000 business owners and digital marketers to build the business and the life that they love. And we want to do that by helping them to get the strategies and the softwares and the tools to be able to create that business and that lifestyle as well. And so that's really what we're working on, and kind of why we're here. So what's up, Kent? Josh? John said his bosses are always dumber than him. Yes, that's a big thing that I realized too, is that I was not going to work for anybody else. So that was why I decided to come here and do this whole digital marketing thing. Now, let's talk about messenger bots though, right? Because a lot of people, they make the mistake of even my team, right, makes the mistake of like confusing the word bots. And I was just talking with my design guy about a image and a graphic that we were putting about a new chatbot training that we're going to be releasing on YouTube. And it had like a little robot in there. And I was like, I just don't like the idea of like a bot, right? Too many people have this connotation of it being like a bot. And so if you like a robot, like it's a what's the word I'm looking for? Like it's like it's some automated, inhumane, really boring, dry, people don't like it kind of interaction. And the fact is that it's actually the opposite. So the first thing to understand is really the capability of bots, and also the understanding that right now we are at the 1.0 version of bots, right? Right now you interact with bots through Facebook Messenger. But in a little bit, you're going to be interacting with the bots through virtual reality, through augmented reality, through Alexa skills, through Siri, right? Siri apps, things like that. So don't downplay the value in these. Don't downplay the value in bots, thinking that, oh, it's Facebook Messenger, oh, it's Facebook. That's just the incarnation that it is right now, and so it's going to get much, much bigger as the years, as it continues and as technology progresses as well. And so I share that because for you, if you can position yourself now as the authority, as someone who is working in that space now, when that technology comes, when everybody wakes up, when they are now utilizing those things and the consumers are interacting and they've become a little more comfortable interacting with bots, you're going to have the credibility, you're going to have the authority, you're going to have the experience, you're going to have the connections, the network, everything's going to be built in for you already. So I say that to really give you a lot of confidence that this stuff is not going away. All right. So guys, welcome. If you guys are hopping on late, I'm going to ask for and beg for some engagement here. The likes and the loves. Always tell good old Zuckerberg and good old YouTube that this is valuable. So if you're getting any value out of here and you've made it thus far, I'm just going to ask for you to pay with your thumbs, and you just hit that like button. That will do loads for the universe and for us to help us on our mission to help 1,000 business owners create the business and the life that they love, and hopefully you can be one of those 1,000. All right. So we've talked a little bit about kind of speculation, and we've talked a little bit about kind of the overview of messenger marketing. But I think that it's really important to understand that if you just call it a bot, or if you're always calling it a chatbot, or you're just thinking about it being this Facebook Messenger communication system or communication tool, you're really going to miss the boat on that stuff. You're really going to miss the boat on it. So, Josh, I appreciate all the love. Ashley, great to see you. It's always great to chat with you. I miss you, by the way. I miss our crazy conversations. So let's talk about what else. Okay, so we talked about the first thing is why, right? The second thing is you got to figure out who you're serving, right? Who your customers are. Too many business owners, too many entrepreneurs, too many product creators, what they do is they go straight to the the product. They go straight to the solution. And the challenge is that if you go straight to the product, you go straight to the solution, you're either going to miss a lot of the actual answers in which people actually care about, right? You're actually going to miss a lot of those things, or you're going to miss out on the relationships that's going to be necessary for you to actually create those sales transactions, right? Sales, really, money is just an exchange of value, right? And so sales is simply the ability to be able to create value for somebody else. And so what you've got to do is you got to first figure out who are you going to create value for, not what are you going to create, right? And if you go to them, you will be able to find the right answers. They will tell you what they want, right? They will tell you what it is that they they need, but only if you take the time to actually ask them. So Shane, Donovan, Ben, what's going on? So here's the second part, right? Is after you figure out, who you're going to serve, the next thing that we want to figure out is what are we going to provide for them, right? And then how are we going to provide it for them? And this is a big difference for two reasons, because the first is when a lot of new businesses are getting started, they underestimate what's required in the product creation process, right? There's a lot of a lot of people underestimate what it's going to take to actually create a new product, right? Like products, you can't just decide something and then people are going to buy it and people are going to keep buying it. It's going to work. If that were the case, I mean, I don't know. We would be in a really, really strange world, right? People would be buying a bunch of weird shit, but that's not really what it is. And so you have to do, and it always comes back to the research. And Josh said, you got to care, right? That's really what it, at the beginning, like at the very beginning, you definitely have to care. But you're going to find those answers by either asking them, right? And actually going through and having those conversations with people, or you're going to figure that out by iterating that process along the way, by changing and adjusting and going, that didn't work, or this didn't work, right? So once again, I'm curious, if you guys are just getting started, right? Or you want to get started with messenger marketing and you want to start implementing chatbots into your business, give me some likes and loves, because that was something where it was like, I was kind of listening and paying attention to where people were and what they were, where their head was at. And a lot of them were still getting started. So that's why I made this video. But if I didn't, if nobody watched this, right, and we were having no engagement, there was no likes or whatever it is, I'd go, well, it's kind of interesting. Let me change up, what it is that I'm creating. So before you just start diving into it, and a lot of people they get stuck because they get romantic about what it is that they want to provide. And I call it the gummy bear kind of the gummy bear idea, right? And I see Greg hopping on. What's up, my man? Who is that? Rachel. Guys, thank you guys for hopping on. I appreciate you tuning in live. I call it the gummy bear effect, right? Or it's the gummy bear strategy. And what it is that, or the gummy bear vitamin, And if you think about vitamins, right? Vitamins for the longest time were things that people did not like to take, or like, they were just like gross. And then all of a sudden people, they came out with the Flintstones ones, and it was like this big revolution. But it really changed when vitamins became gummy bears, right? When gummy bears came along, they all of a sudden, instead of trying to get people to take these things, they had to put on the box, like, to only limit yourself to a certain amount of vitamins, right? Because the people wanted them so much. And so what you've got to do is, instead of just trying to force and shove vitamins down their throat, right? Why not try and figure out what's their gummy bear and wrap your vitamin in their gummy bear, right? Wrap their vitamin in their, right, like wrap it up in there. And if you do that, then people will respond more, and people will be more willing to take the next step, because it's something that they actually want, as opposed to something that you feel like you're forcing down them. So it may sound basic as I'm kind of saying that, right? But I think that it's important for you to make sure that you're doing it, right? That you're asking those questions. And I'm even realizing in some of our own campaigns, we preach this a lot. And then in some of our own campaigns, we probably could do a better job, right? Ben is someone who actually is on right now, and he's actually someone who I consulted with, and gave me some great advice on a campaign that we were running that, had we just done a little bit of, thinking about who are our target markets, we probably could have, came upon the idea that he gave us, which was a great idea in terms of segmenting our markets and stuff like that, a lot sooner. But the point is that you've got to be able to do that research, and you've got to be able to do some of that due diligence before you just start creating something for someone, because you may be assuming what they want, and that is never the right answer. All right. So let's talk tactics here, because I'm giving you a lot of philosophy here. Yes. But what about like some good tactics? Like let's talk about, some things that you can actually do. So when I think about it, right, like up here on the board, if you guys can see, I don't know if you guys can see that now. Let me see. So you guys can see it. So what that is, that's kind of like really, it's kind of backwards, but we're going back, and I have up at the top and left there, I have problem, solution, and then what's the offer that we are offering people, right? I had problem, solution, and then offer. And it started with the problem. So I was like, literally, it was like, what do people need, right? People need the know-how, right? They need, like, the number one thing that they need is the know-how. Okay. So that's why we came upon this video, and that's why it's here. And so for you, before you start with you start with the product, you've got to figure out what is the problem that you're solving. And then in the middle, I wrote solution and bridge, right? Like in the middle, you have like before you just go straight to your offer and start selling them on it, you want to have this bridge. And a lot of times this comes in, and it's dependent upon what type of product you're selling. So if you're selling a higher ticket service, well, then this bridge is going to be a little bit more thorough. It's going to be a little bit more intimate. It's going to be a little bit more one-on-one, right? It might take a little longer. It might be a little more personalized, right? Because you're going to be asking someone to spend, thousands of dollars with you. Whereas if you're selling a $9 ebook, or you're selling a $9, whatever, or a $19 something, well, that bridge, in order to get them to that sales process, can be a little bit shorter, right? So maybe it's just a sales letter. Maybe it's a couple of videos. Maybe it's, whatever it is, that bridge, you need to have a bridge for them to be able to get to the point of being open to selling to you, right? I remember early on in my sales career, if I decided to take the time to actually ask people questions and actually care, right? Like Josh mentioned earlier, then I had a much greater chance of being able to sell. But if I just jumped in and I just started to sell to people and I just started to pitch them on what I offered, even if they were the perfect candidate for it, they oftentimes didn't care, because that relationship wasn't there, right? They didn't know that I knew what they needed, right? And they didn't know that I knew that, right? So it's really, really important that you take the time to build that relationship, either one-on-one, or the great thing is that you can take the time, like through this video, to build a relationship with people in mass. So Chris, what's going on? Rosa, thanks for tagging people. Guys, if you guys think that someone should be seeing this stuff, make sure that you guys share this with them, tag them. The likes and the loves, they always help. Paying with your thumbs is one of the greatest payments that you guys can give. So let's see. So we've talked about that. Let's see. Okay, so we talked about figuring out why. We're talking here about our what, and we're also talking about our how. So with messenger marketing, the beautiful thing is that you can have people opt in through links. You can have people opt in through a website. You can have people opt in through like a QR code looking thing. You can have people opt in through they can be commenting like if you comment off of this, if you comment on this video, right, you'll probably get a little message from my bot that says, hey, do you want to get our guides? Respond back yes. And so there's all these really, really cool ways for people to be able to get for people to be able to subscribe to your bot. So how they are going to do that is best decided dependent upon how you are prospecting, right? Is there a brick and mortar? Is it a brick and mortar place where you can put up, a messenger code? Is it a Facebook group, or are you prospecting through Facebook Messenger where you want to send them a link, right? Like where can you send them? What can you do? And the great thing is that Chatfuel, which is the platform that we build all of our clients on, can be, you can build all of these things for free. You can get a free landing page. You can get a free QR code. You can get a free, what else? You can get, all of those things are free. The links, like all those are free to be able to get opt-ins. All right. So I think I've kind of talked a little bit. Hey, Monique, thanks for hopping on live. Guys, if you guys are catching this, if you've made it thus far on the replay, geez, you are a true champion. But if you are here live, let me know. I can see Ben, Chris, and Rachel are on, but other than that, I don't know who's on. So let me know who's here. And then if you guys have any questions, let's talk about it, right? You can hire somebody to obviously do your chatbots, right, and your messenger marketing, and that's something, you can come to an agency like ours and do that. You can code your own, right, which is something that a lot of developers like to do. You can definitely code your own bot. Like all chatbots are a series of code, and that's really all it is. It's all anything is, but it's just a series, a sequence of code that tells the bot how to respond and what to respond with back on Facebook Messenger. And then you can use a platform. And I mentioned that Chatfuel is the one that we utilize with all of our clients. And it's the one that I can recommend, at least, right now. And it's something that really allows you to be able to create comprehensive, complete bots. And it's free, right? There is some pro upgrades, but other than that, in order to build a complex bot, it's free. So, Josh, thanks for hanging in there. Guys, if you guys have any questions, throw them down there. Now's your chance. I want to make sure that we continue to talk about what you guys want to talk about. And I love just talking. And I'm sorry if you guys hate to hear me ramble. Just turn off the notifications. Unlike Millennial Skills, unfriend me, block me, like if you don't like to hear me ramble. But if you gain any value out of these things, then what I'd ask is that you let me know where you're at in your business and kind of what you're working on, so that I can, if I don't have the answers, that I will go find the answers and learn them, or go find the people who have the answers. So we want to do this around this time every day, around 11 a.m., Pacific, so 2 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m., GMT. And we just want to chat and make sure that you guys are moving along in your business And whether that's online, affiliate marketing, building an agency, messenger marketing, I mean, we can help you all with it as well. So Chris says lead magnets. So let's talk about lead magnets. And Chris, specifically, if I'm not mistaken, then you're selling services, right? And so a lot of lead magnets are very easy to kind of think about for B2C, right? But for B2B, it may be just a little different. And I've got to give this strategy and this idea or this philosophy to Joe Polish, who's someone who I've learned a ton about marketing from. And he started in the carpet cleaning business. And now he's a legendary marketer, but he started there. And what he did was he actually offered a lead magnet, which was a pre-recorded voice message, right? So it wasn't even like a website or anything like that. It was back in the day where they had answering machines. And it was like basically like 5 things to do before you hire a carpet cleaner. So what that did, and he would run an ad, and in the ad it said, hey, don't hire a carpet cleaner before you listen to this free pre-recorded message, right? And he would run an ad like that. And it basically wasn't an ad that said, hey, do you want to buy a free, do you want to buy carpet cleaning services? What he did was he offered content, he offered value, and he said, don't do these things until or don't hire a carpet cleaner until you do these things. And what's really, really just valuable about that is that it does 2 things. The first is it actually informs the people about what they should be doing before they hire someone. And so obviously, if you're not a carpet cleaner, if you're a Facebook ad person, right? Or then what you would say is 5 things your niche should do before they start running Facebook ads, or 5 things that your niche should do before they hire someone to do their marketing, or 5 things that your niche should do before they build their website, or whatever your service is, right? But it's, X amount of things your niche should do before they, and then your service, whatever your service is, right? And guys, if this is good stuff, because I feel like this is great stuff, give me some likes and loves here, okay? But that's really what you do. And so, like, let's say if you are targeting restaurants, so it's like 5 things restaurants should do before they start, advertising online. Boom, right? And what that does is informs them. All right, hey, make sure that you have your pixel up. Make sure that you're creating, using, video. Make sure that you are, targeting, what, like basic stuff. Like you can go over, you pick whatever, right? And then at the 5th one, right, could be like number 5, hire an expert, right? Number 5 is like hire an expert to do it. And it's like a lot of, restaurants hire, experts to do it. That way they don't have to worry about it. And these companies can provide, whatever, but you're just building up marketing agencies. But here's the thing, right after that, or by doing that, it positions you now as the authority, because if you're supplying them with this information, they're naturally going to want to utilize you for their service, right? There's that authority expertise thing that's going on right there. So for people who are marketing their services, the lead magnets work in the same way, right? It's just like X things, whatever your niche is, should do before they, and then blank, whatever your services are. And if you do that, this is going to help you attract the people who are in the mindset, right, about doing those things, utilizing those services, but B, then it also is going to position you as the authority to be able to do that as well. So Chris, hopefully that helped. Josh, I'm glad this was valuable for you. The rest of you guys, if this was valuable, just let me know. Just comment helpful, because that always is just helpful knowing what you guys find value in, because I don't want to just sit up here and talk, to myself basically, which I feel like happens sometimes. But if you guys have any other questions, throw them down there. Now's the chance. We're talking about messenger marketing. So So now, okay, so let's like specifically figure out, okay, so let's talk about this, right? Let's take this one step further. Let's apply this to messenger marketing. And let's say Chris now wants to get this to, restaurants. Well, he could target restaurants on Facebook and run messenger campaigns to restaurateurs on Facebook, definitely. He could go on LinkedIn, right? Let's say he wants to target restaurant owners on LinkedIn. He connects with all the restaurant owners, and in one of his follow-up messages, he actually has a link to a demo bot, right? That now subscribes people and says, hey, by the way, I work with restaurants, and I created a free resource of five things to do before you do online, which actually I think we should do this. I have a really good idea about this. And then I'm going to write this down because we have to do this for a different niche that we're doing though. 5 things, and then we're actually having some challenges in a particular niche, and I'm just trying to figure out what are some new ways to get interested prospects in that niche. And I'm just going to take my own advice and write, because okay, so on LinkedIn right now, he sends a link with a follow-up, right? And he creates a little link, and directly that link now subscribes them to the bot and delivers the PDF. And then now that person is in the bot and you can follow up with them, as normal, right? Let's say you want to walk into these restaurants, right? Well, you can take your little messenger code and you can have it on your phone. Where's my damn thing? Let me see. I have a picture of, so one time I was out doing a live event, and you can see here I had I was raffling off some books, and I just had a messenger code, and you can have people subscribe that way. So you can just put it on a piece of paper. You can have it on a business card, whatever it is. All right. So I've given you some ideas here. Josh says he's got to have the notepad ready for new ideas. So here's the thing, guys. I'm the person that you're going to get ideas from. So you got to make sure that you're ready to act and you're ready to implement, because that's the biggest thing. Is I've seen that ideas can come and they are anybody can have ideas. Like, that's why when people go, oh, you have to, I want you to sign a non-disclosure agreement, or I'm not going to talk to you unless, whatever. Like, I think that's silly. Like, I think it's like ridiculous. I'm like, I move on with my life. Or like someone's like, I've got $1 million idea. I just need help executing it. I'm like, yeah, you and everybody else on the planet has $1 million idea. They just need help executing it. Like ideas, nobody needs ideas these days. Everybody needs execution. And so what I would share with you is that for you, I found that for me, like, I've got to leverage like my strengths, and then I've also got to leverage tools so that I'm not doing the things that I hate doing, right? Like I don't like individually sending messages anymore, right? So we use our software sales system to be able to do it for us, right? And we send out hundreds of messages and a day, right? And I don't do any of it, right? And it's just like, because we just leverage the tools, we just leverage the system. And for you as a business, that's really what it comes down to. Is it comes down to about working these strategies, but then also leveraging the systems and the softwares that are there so that you can essentially command an army, right? Without needing to pay an army, right? Which is, the other side of it. So thank you guys for hopping on. Kent, I appreciate the support. Bryce, what's up? Charles, good to see you. Rudy, I appreciate all the support, guys. So if you guys have any questions, throw those down there, and I'll come back and answer them on in the comments. But have an amazing day, and we'll see you tomorrow, probably, most definitely.